Hey guys, welcome back to the Style and Beauty Doctor on YouTube, and in today's video we are going to be talking about my eyeshadow stash. So I'm going to attempt to rank these for you right on camera. I mean, it's not live. I have to edit this. But we're going to quickly also go through all of these palettes and how they pertain to those of us with deeper skin tones. So if you want to talk eyeshadows, eyeshadow palettes, and so on and so forth, keep watching. Alright, so I don't know why I still have these in my hand. I do have some other eyeshadow palettes that are like in my possession, but eventually I'm giving them to my makeup artist friends. They're great quality palettes. It's just that I just would not, they'd be taking up space, collecting dust. I wouldn't use them that often. So here's the thing, when I get PR packages in with, and then there's an eyeshadow palette, I'll review them, I'll try them out, I'll test them out. And a lot of these eyeshadow palettes that come out are really good quality. But they're not necessarily something that I need to keep. So just because something's good doesn't mean I need to keep it or have it or buy it, you know? So first up, my custom palette from MAC. Now, I love these. I would say that these are probably like my number ones because overall, I haven't used them a lot recently, but overall, I've probably used these the most out of all my eyeshadow palettes. As far as the shades, I have them listed in a blog post, so check that out in the description box if you want to know the shades. I would have to say that this smaller one is probably something where I can create the most amount of looks with. I love having this orange shade here and this brick red shade here because these are two colors that I like to use in my crease. And then I like to deepen my eye look with shades like this. I almost always start out my eyeshadow looks with like a matte beige, so like a color like this. And then there's some accent colors and shimmers in here. So this is really cool. Again, the names of the shades will be linked in the description box to my blog post. Because it's a lot to take them out and look at the shades. And then I have this one, which looking at it, I can probably consolidate this and downsize this. There are a couple of MACs in here that I don't really use that often. Some of these are like leftovers that didn't get like the final toss when I was downsizing my, my stash. Some of these are back when I needed to have MACs in my kit that fit a wide range of skin tones. So a lot of these I don't really use that much anymore. Some of them are like so similar to each other, so I can probably get rid of them or give them to like my makeup artist friends to make space, because there are some colors that I want to pick up that I don't want to go and buy a whole big palette for, that I'll probably just, you know, replace those with. So right now I'm just talking them through very quickly and I'll rank them towards the end of the video. But these two from Nyx Cosmetics, so this is the Warm Neutrals palette and this is the Fenix palette. Each of these, although they came out at different times, I bought each of them at the time to, you know, for the specific purpose to review them because, you know, I like to be able to, if someone's like, you know, what's a good, inexpensive palette, I like to be able to, you know, be able to rattle off some things that I've actually tried myself. So, you know, that's what I do sometimes for y'all. But these actually wound up being really great for me for when I travel. When I travel, I don't want to carry, well, my last two trips I have carried like my regular everyday makeup, but for the most part I don't want to carry expensive makeup with me when I travel because it can get broken, it can get lost, and these are like 18 bucks a piece. I'd rather replace an $18 palette than a $45 palette, you know? But this one's an amazing palette. You can get a total, so many different full eye looks out of this one, neutral eye looks. This one I actually bought when I was in the airport because I was walking out and it caught my eye and I kind of did like a, hey, what's up now, Nyx? Because this palette reminds me so much of, casualty, this palette reminds me so much of this palette. So I was like, you know what, let me buy that and try it out and review it on, I think I reviewed this, I probably reviewed this here on YouTube. If not, then it's on my blog, but I'll link both or one of each or whatever. I bought this because I was like, oh, for anybody who liked this palette that I showed and wanted something cheaper and there was like less work to make, this one is really great. So these two NYX palettes are ones that I love to travel with, and they're great for everyday looks as well too. Now this one I didn't pay for. I was contemplating like, should I add this in? I didn't pay for it. And it didn't even come in like PR. A friend of mine who knows Pat Mcgrath got it for me from either Pat Mcgrath herself or Pat Mcgrath's team. But This palette is gorgeous. I would spend the money on this. Well, it's over $100. I would wait for like a 20% off sale. But I would actually buy this with my own money. It's just that I did not. I love this palette. It might look a little washed out in the video here, but you can get so many different looks. You know, I always start out with like my matte beige kind of shade. This is a nice transition shade for the crease. I like this to deepen, and I really love these accent shades, because these accent shades, I just take my pinky and kind of put them on so that there's really nice, gorgeous, like sparkly, glittery, shimmery kind of looks. So, and this palette is also interchangeable with others. So I might, you know, do either a colorful look with another palette and then come here for the shimmers to kind of like just give it a little bit more glitz. So love this. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette. Two more Pat McGrath palettes. I got this one when Pat McGrath's site was having a sale. This one I got, I believe, one of the Sephora VIB, so I know I definitely didn't pay full price for either of these. This one, I'm kind of feeling like, maybe I didn't need it. I don't know. It's gorgeous. I don't use it quite as often. So I bought this after I was like, okay, I don't have any pink eyeshadows. So I got this one. It's pretty, but I probably didn't like, on the grand scheme of things, I probably didn't need it. So in hindsight, I wish I knew that like this Alyssa Edwards palette was coming, and it's like, how would I have known? But I wish I could have held off on getting this palette, because the pink and the purple that I love in this palette is in here. This one came in PR, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, this is one palette out of my small stash, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't really need to buy this one, but it's still pretty. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership Subversive Livi and Rose palette, and this one is the Pat McGrath Bronze Temptation palette. This one is gorgeous. It's an array of neutrals, and I love the accent colors. This one is really pretty. This green is just gorgeous. This gold is gorgeous. This one here, it looks ashy, but it's not. It's like a icy gold kind of color. Like, I'm not swatching everything because a lot of these are swatched somewhere already on my blog or something, but really, really gorgeous. Now, I was contemplating whether to add this Alyssa Edwards palette in here because I haven't used it in a while, although I didn't put it to the side to, like, you know, find it a new home, because there are a lot of bright colors in here, like this blue, that purple I already have, the purple and the pink I have in the Pat McGrath palette. But in the yellow, I already have a yellow. But there's certain, like, brighter colors in here that I'm like especially, like, you know, like a purple with the shimmer here, this pink with the shimmer, like, and especially this blue, that I was like, you know what, I have a need for colors like that in my stash, because I love wearing color on my eyes. So I was like, you know what, let me hold on to this, because, you know, there's going to be times where I'm like, oh, I want to do blues, or oh, I want to do, you know, a purple with a purple shimmery color in here. And this palette is actually really, really amazing. It's just that I haven't used it in a while. And last, and we know she's certainly not the least. So this palette, I actually did get one in PR, but I actually bought two of them. One I bought because I was like, you know what, let me support, because I want to see more collaborations like this. It doesn't have to be Jackie. It can be, I want to see more people with deeper skin tones having collaborations with major brands. So I bought one initially, then I was like, you know, let me do a giveaway because I really, really love this palette. Let me buy another one. So that's how I wound up buying two. And then I'm on the ABH PR list, so I got one as well. But this palette, I mean, I talk about it so often, so if you've watched my videos before, you've heard the spiel on this. I can use every single color in here. It's not like some palettes. Well, I can use every single color in the palettes that I have here, but that's because this comes from years of me curating my makeup and knowing what colors I like and what colors look great on my skin and, you know, yada yada. Whereas here, Jackie has done the work for us. All right, but let's attempt to rank these. Okay, so number one, I would have to put these together. MAC makes some really great shadows, but I haven't bought MAC eyeshadows in a while, so I'm not sure if like maybe the quality or anything like that has changed. But these in particular have lasted the test of time. I will always say that the best eyeshadow palette is one that you can customize, but, and there's an asterisk right next to that, big old but knowing what eyeshadows that you're going to use most often and that work with your routine, comes with experience in trying different shades. So it might take you a minute to get to where you know, like, okay, these are the eyeshadows that I want. But these are my number ones. Then I would have to say that Jackiana, I don't know, I'm like, I dropped it and this one's kind of like breaking a little bit. I already hit pan here. I'm contemplating maybe I should get a backup one. I don't know, because I'm like, also like, when have I ever really finished an eyeshadow palette? But I talk about this palette as often as I can. She did her thing. Number 3, I would have to say this Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette. It's just gorgeous. Like, it's beautiful. Like, the shimmers that are in here, they're just like otherworldly, great quality. I feel like I've watched Pat McGrath's work for years, like a lot of her like couture stuff. Now, I'm not gonna put sequins, you know, get sequins and glue them on my eyes, or, you know, put eyeshadow all the way up to my brow bone, like, you know, stuff that you might see like when she does like Christian Dior couture shows and stuff like that. But this eyeshadow palette really gives me like, you know, it gives me a little piece of the makeup that Pat would do at some of these like couture shows, you know? So this I absolutely love. I need to buff out the fingerprints on the palette, but gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, so kind of hard, but I'm thinking for number 4, this Bronze Temptation palette, because this is gorgeous, especially when I do a look that incorporates this cranberry with this green. Beautiful shimmers, beautiful mattes. The mattes are really great quality. And I like that this is well protected and the packaging is really pretty. I love packaging. Yeah. I would say that these are number 5, and these only rank number 5 because I keep them in my travel bag so that when I'm packing my makeup and my skincare and stuff like that, like all that stuff is already in the same bag, so that I don't forget anything. So I don't keep these out with my regular makeup, so I don't use them that often. But when I travel, I do use them a lot, and I've traveled a lot this year. So these are great. Although I use them mostly for travel, these are also great everyday palettes. So if you're looking for something that works really well on darker skin and you don't want to spend a bunch of money and you want a good variety of colors, you know, there's the Fenix palette, and then you also have the warm neutrals, and they're 18 bucks a piece, which is like, oh. Okay, so 6th place. I would give these a tie. I would give these a tie at 6th place. But with the Alyssa Edwards getting a slight, you know, a little bit of a bump ahead of this Pat McGrath. I would I have bought this? I wish this palette came out before I bought this one, because if I saw this palette, I would not have bought this one. Because really and truly, I wanted something with some really good quality pinks in them. And they both have really good quality pinks in them. But at least this one gives me more variety, because I got that like pretty blue, I got that purple with the shimmer, I got that really pretty purple, and then of course some neutrals to go with it. So like if I wanted to only do one look with one palette, this would be great. I do kind of regret buying this one. So that was on my eyeshadow palette. So leave me a comment below. Let me know how you would rank the palettes. Now, some of you might have a lot of palettes, so I'm not asking you to like list out your whole stash, unless you want to. If you want to, go ahead, feel free. It's a free country. But if you want, let me know your maybe like top 3 to 5 eyeshadow palettes. Let me know that in the comments below. Make sure you follow me on social. The links will be in the description box. Also in the description box will be links to like if I've reviewed any of these palettes, if there's swatches available and things like that. Make sure you check that out in the description box as well. And I will see you fine folks in my next video. Bye guys.